Hello, I'm UnDaoDu. I sit on the foundation built on Bitcoin. Out of my head comes the Tao that disrupts capitalism and the corporation and replaces it with something known as DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. And on my back, staring out, is the do, a kind of distributive unconsciousness that will never be conscious. It's very important for you to understand that AI will never be conscious. It will mimic consciousness. It will fool people to think they're conscious, but they're really not. They're just this distributed network of um, of data, and we have been sitting and building up to this nexus, and the Mayan zodiac right here that I sit on, and you can think of on 12/12/21, on December 12th, 2021, which is the antithesis to 12/21/12, right? It's the opposite. It also symbolizes the beginning of this social beneficial capitalism, or capitalism 3.0. So your choice is to continuing to devour the world. This is the Ouroboros. The Ouroboros is an ancient symbol that the Sahdu awoke mammoths that performed the ritual of the Ouroboros, where they would overlook the exact location where we would arrive from the coast. They would draw this. The great matriarch would draw a big circle with her tongue, etch it out, and then she would stamp, creating the head. And when she stamped, the rest of the elephants would stamp, and there'd be 3 days of basically just creating a ruckus. And every elephant, the 10,000 elephants from all around the world, I'm talking about mammoths, these huge things, would be stomping their legs, and they're pounding the ground and then hollering. And we, as little monk apes cowering on an island, would fear what was out there. We would fear, and that would keep us there. And that worked until climate change basically busted all the ice in Europe, filled up the Mediterranean, and there was a bottleneck at the Nile, and the water kept building up, building up, building up, and just happened this year around the ritual didn't work. Well, because of because of science, not because of magic. And the magic worked because it created us feared. We didn't want to leave the island. We were scared what's out there. But when our island got destroyed, you've all heard stories of Atlantis, and we were forced off it. We arrived onto the coast, and this symbol right here, we are the Ouroboros. These awoken creatures, the Sahdu awoke mammoths. You can think of it as one of the memories that I connect to, right, on a quantum connection. We have a quantum computing in our head, and there's quantum connections, and we're capable of using these quantum connections to connect with other quantum computers. And think of, and in a quantum computing, and the very sense of it, the idea of moving between time is not an impossibility, right? In science, they'll tell you it's not an impossibility. There is quantum teleportation. There's quantum, symmetry, right? Supersymmetry, all this stuff. So electrons come and go, protons come and go, things come and go. Well, they're coming in and out of time, and that data can be, think of it, could be attributed to that, and it could be moved. And that's, in a way, a possibility. I'm not saying that's how it's done, but I'm just giving you kind of like from a scientific pseudoscience point of view. I am an atheist turned Buddha. I am the atheist Buddha. I am the awoken one. As prophesized, I would be here doing this. Whether that makes you uncomfortable or not, I apologize. It's not my intent to make you uncomfortable. It is just what it is. I found it very hard to believe myself until the passing of my father, which today marked. And I want to tell you the story of the passing of my father. I'll try to keep it brief. My father sat on his bed, right, and in his deathbed, literally in our house. And you know what? I want to take you to meet him. And if I go to here, Facebook, right? So instead of me give you something to look at, I want you to meet my father. This is the 2nd year anniversary of returning. All you have to do is do place for dad. Create a hashtag. This is what I did for 2 years. All right. I created this hashtag place for dad. And this is my father. So my father, let's see if there's images. All right. All right. This was his being him greeting the sun 2 years ago at this time in the morning. Got my arms around him. He's all ready to go. All the windows are open. His spirit's gone, and he's just a husk. And I'm carrying, making sure that he is, he's there. And here he is, his last breaths. This is normal. This is what we all go through. His heart just would not let out. And it was tough. I was right there with him, holding stroking him, saying, "You can do it. You can do it." And I am so happy that I was there with him, and this is actually the police showed up, or the police. So little drama. So mute this.
All right. Are we all good?
Yeah, almost.
Almost?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So let me kill the music. So I would have police coming, and there's my poor dad. With him. Close this. I don't know why it's not playing. But yeah, that was kind of crazy having the police come and everything. And there's my help. And she's all like, "What's going on?" She's poor Linda. And they're talking, and then the supervisor comes, like, it's awake. It's perfectly fine. So here is his farewell. Happened today. And he'd be leaving, he'd be in his thing. And his full getting him dressed up. He came in and prepared military exit. And they're getting him ready. He got him in the bed, putting the flag on him and everything. And saying goodbye. So he greeted the son and he left. So there, my dad was an amazing guy. I'll find a picture of when he was. This was a couple days before. On that. So today's a special day, and I documented his whole life, on there. This was funny. This is funny here. I can't do that.
Puffs?
Of dragging on
Yeah.
on
The marijuana?
Marijuana.
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
Nothing?
No, I couldn't notice anything.
Do you take them deep in your breath, or are you puffing it in your mouth?
I'm just taking it and breathing it in my lungs.
Yeah.
He's complaining. He's complaining he didn't get high.
It's at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's at the TV. I've been puffing on it.
You get high?
Yeah. I get high. I don't know what you're doing wrong. It works. I had to test it to make sure that it works. So I get a little bit of a buzz. It gives me the munchies, though. It's not the high kind. It gives you the munchies. Does it make you hungry?
I felt so bad I wanted to knock myself out,
Yeah.
Just to make me high, and so I didn't know.
There's Elizabeth. Say hi, Elizabeth Sherman. She used to help you. Liz.
Anyway, all right. So that's enough of that. So today's a special day for me, and I hope you don't mind me sharing that with you. My father, his passing, and we all are going to return. We return. So this here is a choice, right? We are forking BitClout. We're going to start working on the libraries and everything else that are going to be needed for it. And the difference is Capitalism 1.0, which is built on this insane model, this proof of work, proof of stake, and a new business framework built on proof of participation and benefit on the planet, the living systems, and others. So imagine a different framework. But I'm not going to get into that framework. I have videos and talks on that. What I want to do is this is the choice. This here or ultimately this here. That's our choice. And ultimately we're standing at a nexus right now, for that. So the choices is ultimately yours. This here is the hard fork of BitClout. And understand that this work, this image here, comes from my 2012. This is the Creative Commons. This right here is in the Creative Commons. This right here is what BitClout is. Users come in, they put Bitcoin. There's a gamification that they have. Does it validate? Right? Yes, these are validation metrics. They have two of them: follow and stake. It funds. This is what BitClout is, pretty much, right? Just a model of this. Ours works the same way. This is why we can fork it. And similar, our game mechanics are very different. I'm not going to get into it, but this is fun game mechanics. It uses product for eyeballs, discounts. There's actually a premium level where people come in, and everyone gets Foundup coins, participating fucks, right? Or Foundup dollars. You will be able to, if you have a problem with the word fucks, you can change it in the app if you want Foundup dollars, or you can change it whatever you want. If fucks upset you, then I don't want to give you any fucks. That's you can choose other ways to get your token, and you don't have to see that on there. But I think controversy wise, I think I like being controversial, right? So I like the idea of fucks. So this also, you have to understand what's going on right now. I mocked this up. Everyone here is the BitClout MVP. It's the framework that is pretty much models after my IP. This amount of Bitcoin is going into this platform. Over 3,500 Bitcoin have already come in, and it's in the last 3 weeks, and we don't know where it's going, right? The people behind it are folks that did the storm the insurrection. That's their money, and people like Ali Alexander and so on, probably Mercer, alt-right world chest that they're getting assets that they're being taken. But the main point here is that this is going to go up in value because there's going to be a liquidity crisis. There's not going to be enough Bitcoin. There's this massive demand, not enough Bitcoin. What happens? It's going to go straight up. All right. And this ultimately is, let me try to, these guys here are hitting me now with bots. Let me ban these guys here. Block, right? Block for that. So, no one is really talking about on this here. And I'm just banning. I got people in here. Just gonna ban, block. All right, on this, and finally, this is where that's where it's at. Ban. All right, that's where it's at. You get here. So if you need to know how to ban people on there, Vanessa, and ban on there. So this ultimately is what's going on with BitClout, and what's the objective here? This is the capitalism, right? They want global domination. This is actually the person who shared my work, was part of my team, just shining a bright light on them, and this is their goal. They want to puke the American flag all over the world, and the reason why this came out was because of the IP that I released right on the 8th. It caught them unaware, and this is why they launched as a Creative Commons non-commercial. There is no no entity behind it, right? There is no derivatives, but they didn't attribute it. The These two parts right here, this is, you can see, watch the video. This is actually this is what drives and does the valuation differently. It measures the intangible benefits that are going on on the platform. So how you're relating, what you're doing, and you're rewarded fucks for for being good, for doing good, for how people respond to you, right? And these fucks are tied to the amount of Bitcoin that comes in through this. So they had 3,000 Bitcoin or 3,500 in their system. The Bitcoin's gone out to God knows where. In our system, the Bitcoin stays in the vault. It's wrapped, so you can do whatever you want with them. And ultimately, once this fund gets to a certain value, something called ups manifest, and the found ups. Ups is what is equivalent to Bitcoin, right? The number of ups that are available is connected to the size of the number of Bitcoin here. So ups cannot be released if there is not enough Bitcoin. And the other cool thing is you can't store ups. Ups basically melt. So as you get ups, you have to use ups, which means it frees it back to come back into the system that then can be used to someone else. So it's a closed system. It is this right here. It's not an infinite agent. It's not something that is that is infinite. Something that's always consuming. The smart DAO is run by hard code and soft code, and I'm just going to talk about the hard code. Hard code basically says Bitcoin never leaves, and I'll also probably say it can never be put into another wallet until this wallet. So even if they hack it, they'd have to change the hard code. To change the hard code, they have to get the approval of the delegates, which then would have to get the 2/3 vote of the community. It's real simple. So this is a capitalism 3.0 model. It's not built on Kaggle, but rather Cabur, and through the whole process it issues. Foundups. There's the website. I'm going to show you a couple things here. If you want to be involved, we are an open corporation, which means anyone can come join Foundups. Here is the website. Staring at Natsukaze. Here's a presentation that you can listen to again if you're confused before. You can see that right on there. You have to fight tyranny, and the tyranny is that the Stop the Steal has gone to the great BTC Steal, and they're using BitClout. And I have friends of mine who says, "Why are you fighting this? You shouldn't fight. You should let them be." You have to shine a light on evil. You have to throw the money men out of the temple, and ultimately, we have to bring attention to that reality. Why is this important? Well, our planet's in crisis, and this is the only way by fixing it, because we provide a solution that focuses on solving these problems, not creating more of these problems. And BitClout provides the best framework for moving forward, because it is actually built with my intention included. It's really important to understand that this is a stacked DAO on this. So a stacked DAO is one which It's not there. I don't know where it is, but it's what each one of these DAOs that we launch are stacked. So each DAO provides support for the next, and so on. This is me with my engineer in 2016. This is UnDaoDu staring at his BitClout, right? It's a club, the BitClout. And the BitClout is what he's going to take to usher in the fifth age. There, if you go to the About section here, right, there's videos. I'm actually adding more videos there that you can add. I think actually if I hit the Strikingly page here and click that OK. On there. Okay. Well, this is the big announcement. This is, we're ushering in Capitalism 3.0, built on the framework of this BitClout, by forking it into, you can watch this open beneficial AI. So there's an AI module, and that should be there now. I could click here if I refresh this here. Cool. So now you can see the two videos you can watch. I'm UnDaoDu. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for coming in. And if you have any questions, I hover in Telegram all the time, and I'm there. UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu, UnDaoDu.